How we doing? So hello out there to the Black Woman Promote family. My name is Alicia Rodman, aka Life Coach Alicia, coming to you live back in America. America. So anyway, what's going on? Just a reminder before I get started, if I am one of the speakers at the Success Summit. I'll be speaking on future self, purpose, and manifestation. Hopefully, even today, you'll be encouraged by that which you hear. Feel free to go over to like my page. I'm also on Instagram at Life Coach Alicia as well. And so I hope this today, my phone is ringing. Sorry, it's my daughter and I can't answer it right now though. Hopefully today you'll hear something that can be edifying to your soul, your spirit, your heart, and of course your business. So today, if you take a look at the topic for today, it's called Bye. I'll say that again. Bye. All right. So how about this? I'm going to say that I used to be a teacher and I taught for 7 years. And my very last day of teaching in the classroom, it was one of the most saddest days of my life. And it was one of the most happiest days of my life. I knew I was saying goodbye to teaching as a classroom teacher for good. So today I want to talk about saying goodbye for future self. Saying bye for future self. So there's 3 ways we can say goodbye. You can say the kind of goodbye where you say goodbye, but you really don't mean it. You can have that temporary bye for now type of thing where you return to it. And lastly, you can have the goodbye where you say it is a permanent goodbye. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at that goodbye that's a not really a real goodbye. When you're saying goodbye to something for future self. So let me give an example. I was dating my children's father at the time, many years ago. And he and I think we were together for several years. And I'll use this term, off and on. Why? Because every time we said goodbye, we didn't really mean it. Now, I was recognizing that I needed to say goodbye to him for my future self, because when I saw things in the future, it did not include him. However, what did I do? We kind of said, forget it, goodbye. And a few weeks later, it was like, hey, how you doing? I'm fine, how are you? And boom, we're back together again. So think about it. Are there some things in your business, in your life, when you think about your future self, that you continue to say goodbye to, but then you pick them right back up again and you draw them back to you? Take a moment to think about that. When you look at your future self and you're looking at some things in your life today, what is it that you need to say goodbye to, but that you keep going back to? The second kind of goodbye is that temporary, that I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I'll see you later. So what does that look like in our lives? Well, the best example I can use, I was trying to find a good example, and this isn't the best, but I'll use this in terms of, for me, it was full-time work. I knew that I wanted to have an entrepreneurial endeavor. However, I said goodbye to full-time work, period, temporarily. And I had to return to it. Now, as I looked into the distance and I saw my future self, at one point I started changing my perspective because things looked a certain way around me. So I started changing my perspective and I said, well, maybe I should go back and work full time and just go back to that, because as I look in the future and I look in the distance, that's me looking in the distance, by the way, and I look in the distance, maybe more of this will be aligned to my future self. Now, I was changing my tune, and I wound up saying goodbye temporarily, and I returned to full-time work, and I was changing my tune because I didn't believe in my dream. And we can talk about not believing in your dreams and changing the whole dynamic when it comes to future self, which you don't want to do. Oh my gosh, that's just a whole nother topic. But anyway, think about those things in your life, things that are nourishing to yourself, your spirit, your mind, body, and soul, that maybe you need to say goodbye to temporarily for the growth of your business, for the growth of your future self. Again, I'm always talking about future self because that's what we need to do. We have to look off into the distance. What does future self begin to look like? Third type of bye that you can do, and that's saying goodbye permanently. Let's stay right here for a second. Think about the areas and the things in your life for the growth of your future self in terms of business, future self in terms of you just being nourishing to your soul and to your spirit and who you are. What do you need to say goodbye to permanently? I came back from, if you've seen any of my other posts, then feel free, again, go to my page, Life Coach Alicia, my personal page as well as my business page. It's all geared towards around motivation and inspiration to heal, awaken, and transform. But some of you will see that I just came back from Kenya. I was in Tanzania first, then I came to Kenya, and then I came home. And as I've come back, I've had to kind of shift some things in my life. I've had to look at some things again and redirect some perspective. And when I look at my future self, what do I need to say goodbye permanently for right now? As I look into the growth of my business, what do I need to say goodbye to right now? Think about those things in your own life. What is not serving you today? What is it that you need to say goodbye to today in order to grow for tomorrow? Now listen, some of the things that you say goodbye to, it doesn't mean that it's a bad habit. It's something that's just awful and bad, and so you need to say goodbye to it. Sometimes it may be something that's really beautiful. However, when you think about alignment to where you're headed to, it simply doesn't fit. You think about, if I'm going there, is what I'm doing today fitting that vision? Is it fitting that? So that being said, I'm going to pause for five seconds. And in this pause, I think I want for you to think about you and think about yourself in the next few years, where you want to be as an individual personally, where you want your business to be. Where do you want these things to be? And is there anything in your life at this moment that you need to say goodbye to? So let's pause for 5 seconds to think about those things. Let's look a little bit more about that. When you say goodbye, I was just talking to my good friend and sister who's like a room away and listening to this too. And I want you to think about something. When sometimes you're holding on to something, right? Go like this. You're holding on to something. You're holding on to something. And as long as you're like this, and you're holding on to that thing that you need to say bye to, what happens? I'm holding on. Can I receive like this? No. Folks, come on. I need you to do this with me. Do this with me. Hold on. Hold on. You're holding on to that thing that maybe you need to say goodbye to. Now, on the count of 3, we're going to let go of that thing. 1, 2, 3. Let go. When you let go, what happens? What happens, ladies? It puts you in a position, when you say goodbye to those things, it puts you in a position to receive. It puts you in a position to receive. So today I encourage you to begin to say goodbye so that you can receive the thing that will heal, awaken, and transform your life, your business. For what? For future self. So also my girl who's here too, my good girlfriend, someone had her do this. So I'm going to have you do it too. As you begin to think about what is not serving you, what's no longer serving you as an individual, what's no longer serving you in your business, what do you need to say goodbye to? And just begin to wave and say goodbye. Bye. Is it a relationship? Is it a process that you're doing? Is it a space that you're in? Wave. Say goodbye. Because now, from here on out, you say goodbye to those things that are not going to help you grow. Those things that won't allow you to heal, awaken, and transform. Folks, my name is Life Coach Alicia, aka Alicia Rodman. I encourage you to like and follow my pages. And also, if you're on Instagram, you can find me at Life Coach Alicia as well. I hope that you've heard something today that could be encouraging to your mind, your body, and your spirit. And don't forget, please visit me at aliciacoaches.com if you're looking to move the needle in your own life. So folks, see you soon. That Success Summit is coming up, and I hope to see you there. Mwah.